Hey lovelies, it's Imogen and welcome to this video. So in this video I am going to do my February Valentine's layout, which is going to be done in the Lovers themed tarot. I am quite late getting this out due to health issues. However, I am hoping that you'll enjoy it. I did decide for this video I would open up a Q&A on Instagram and answer some of your questions rather than just adding some tedious music to the background. However, if that's not your cup of tea, absolutely feel free to mute me, put your own music on, and just have this video play in the background. I got asked quite a few diverse questions, some planning related and some not. So I think I'm going to try and put this into a order that makes a little bit more sense to me. So one of the questions I was asked was, how did I get into planning? This could actually be like a whole video all on its own. Basically, I was struggling to organize my craft inventory and I found myself ordering things online, and then when I went to put them away, I was like, oh, I already have this. So as excited as I was that I had multiple things, sometimes having dupes isn't always a good thing. Like having 2 washi tapes or 2 pens, yeah, great, but I'm not going to use 2 of the same stamp set. So basically, I had a look online to see if there was ideas for how I could do an inventory system. There was various apps, but I found it very overwhelming because there was just so many apps. And a lot of them required that you paid for a service, and I didn't know if this was something that I wanted to do. Also, with me, I hyper focus on things, so sometimes I have these ideas where doing a craft inventory would be amazing today, and then tomorrow I'm in over my head, I'm massively overwhelmed, and then it's this app that I've just paid for and I'm never going to open it again. That's that. So I had a look online, like I said, and I came across a wonderful lady on YouTube who had created a craft inventory binder, and she took her inventory binder with her to various shops or when she was shopping online, and then she could see exactly which stamp set she had, which die cuts she had, which pens, markers, etc., etc. And I was like, I love this. I want this. She even had printouts of, like, say, Copic markers, and she'd swatch which markers she had, or Tombows, distress inks, etc. And I thought, this is what I need in my life. This would help me so much. And she had it in this really cute sort of personal sized 3-ring binder, and I'm not entirely sure where she got it from, probably Michael's, Target, somewhere like that. But over here in the UK, we don't have like little binders like that. Like, I think the smallest we do, or at that time when I was looking at least, would be like a photo album, which would be no good to me, or a A5 binder, which felt too big to be looking about, that kind of thing. I couldn't find anything that was sort of like a binder, but smaller, in like, say, a personal size, or in like A6 size or B6 size, somewhere around there. And I was actually quite gutted because what she'd made just made sense to me, and the way she had used little tabs and stuff to organize like the different sections made sense to me, and she just seemed to be able to be in a shop, open it up to the page she wanted, find the information, and she was done. There was no getting out her phone and trying to look things up or catalogue, or having to go back home and see if she had the thing and then go back out. I just really liked the system. So I had a little think, and then I thought maybe I could organize this into a Filofax. And I never had a Filofax before, so I decided to buy one. So my experience with this was, I went onto eBay, I searched for a Filofax, and I was met with, do you want A5? Do you want pocket? Do you want personal? Do you want this? Do you want that? Do you want... And I was so overwhelmed because I thought Filofax was just Filofax and it came in one size and that was it, done. Yeah. So then I decided to look into, or perhaps made the mistake of looking into the different sizes of Filofax and what that means. And I quickly discovered that I was watching planner videos, and all the stickers and the washi tape and the different pens and all the different layouts, and I soon found myself very, very immersed in the world of Filofax and ring planners, and Filofax like systems. And then I got interested in like the Kate Spades and also in like Kiki K's and the other 6-ring binders. So back to eBay, knowing that I actually wanted a personal size Filofax for the purpose of creating this inventory. And I found a really cute sort of crocodile skin, I think it is. It's not actually crocodile skin, it's just like it has that look to it. I want to say it's a chameleon something. And I bought it because it was black and it was gothy and it screamed my name. And I was so excited for it. And then I also spotted a pink Filofax. It was the breast cancer one. And I was like, I like that. And it was really dirt cheap, like £5 including shipping, something ridiculous. And there was nothing wrong with it. It was just pre-owned. And I was like, I could get that. And then I could do Filofaxing. And I could be this planner girl that I keep hearing about. This is 2016. And I've had many diaries and notebooks over the years. And as a child, I collected stickers. And I'm a stationery hoarder, like sticky notes, washi tape, anything, any excuse to have all that kind of stuff. And I thought perhaps I could try and get at the time, I was told I had fibromyalgia. I didn't know about the ADHD stuff. And I thought maybe I could try and get some of my life together as a disabled person, as I have physical disabilities as well, and maybe just create some kind of routine or track something, or I could do that, whatever that was. So I got this pink Filofax, and I printed my own pages, which I found very quickly that regular printer paper is far too thick for doing that. And ultimately, I ended up just buying the Filofax inserts, which was great until they became blue. And then that really put me off because I don't understand why Filofax has to have blue writing on it. But suddenly I am doing Filofaxing. I have, in the end, like literally it happened very quickly. I found what people would say is planner piece. I was incredibly happy in the system. I had a week on 2 pages, which I ended up using as a journal, and I was recording my pain and my anxiety and my depression and that kind of stuff. I was recording my eating habits. I was writing. I was doodling. I was having a really good time. And then I also had a week on 1 page, which I split up with grid paper. And then I later on used dot grid paper. But I split the week up by cutting down this paper, inserting that. So I had almost sort of a Hobonichi type look where you have like the week on one side and then the grid on the other side. Obviously, for the second week, it was the grid and then the week, but it worked. And I was able to create things to do lists. And then all of a sudden, things to do lists became Etsy stickers. And going on a whirlwind crazy journey with that, my friend Samantha actually opened up a Etsy shop, and she did planner stickers and mostly deco stickers was what her thing was, of these cute adorable animals. And she did some witchy ones, and she sent me them for free and said like if I promoted her shop then I could have these stickers every month. And I amassed quite a collection of stickers very quickly from that, buying from other sticker shops as well, looking on eBay and buying like job lots of like people didn't want stickers, destashes, etc. And I built up quite a collection of stickers very quickly, much to the dismay of my bank balance. So yeah, that's how it began. And then it sort of took off and became 2017. I discovered, because of Megan Rhiannon, like I discovered the bullet journal system, and that's another video. And then just bullet journaling and planners and all the craziness that goes with it. But I think the irony of this whole thing is it's now 2024 and I haven't started that craft inventory that I originally set out to do. I haven't done it. The gorgeous black Filofax is sat in a box waiting. I can tell you where it is. I have some inserts that I made for it, including dividers and some stuff that I printed out for colour swatching. But that's it. That's as far as I got with making that very adorable craft inventory binder, and I still find myself buying stamps, and then when I go to put them away, I'm like, I have this. I'm hoping that wasn't too much of a tedious story and you enjoyed the ride, but that is indeed how I got started with planners. What is your favorite size to work with and why? Let's talk about bullet journals. I have a love-hate relationship with bullet journals. I find if I buy something like an A6 bullet journal, that it's just too small and I'm like, I feel trapped. Like I can't go on to the next page. I don't know why. I just feel stuck with I'm wanting to stamp and my stamps are too big, and I'm wanting to write and my writing's too big, and I don't really do anything, but I just find that A6 is just too small for me to be able to like bullet journal or plan in. But then I get like a A5 size, which is the other sort of common size in the UK, and I find that it's too big and I hate having masses of white space, which I then feel like I need to try and fill in, and then I end up filling it in with something that I don't like, and then I end up not liking the system, and then I end up not using it. So somewhere between A6, because I love cute small sizes, and A5, I reluctantly say. I have found the Scribbles That Matter do a B6, and I'm quite loving the size. I am thinking it might even be better for me to go back to doing the A6, based on what I've been doing in there. But I am toying with different sizes. My fiance got me a Midori MD A6 for Valentine's Day, and the size of that doesn't feel like it's A6. It feels bigger because it feels wider. It feels like different brands have a different opinion on what these sizes are, even though they're supposed to be like a standard size. So yeah, I prefer small, cute things, but at the same time, I like to have a bit of space and not be cramped, but I absolutely hate like blank white space. Another question was, will you do a craft room tour, please? And another question from the same person was, and what made you do a Beetlejuice craft room? So basically, just before COVID, or during COVID, I think it was actually, I got a bee in my bonnet and decided that I wanted to create a gazebo outside because we were all isolating and such. And it was summer and the weather was beautiful. And I figured that I wanted it to be gothy because I like the whole gothy aesthetic. And I thought that one of the best ways to do that would be to try and do black and white. And then very quickly I was like, black and white stripes is going to become Beetlejuice. My previous bedroom was black and white stripes, and everyone always commented about it being Beetlejuice, even though nothing else in my life at that time was Beetlejuice. But I had this idea, and very quickly I ordered some patio furniture, I ordered a gazebo, I ordered some black and white throws, I ordered some green and purple cushions, and I ordered some green lights and things, and I was well on the way to setting up this Beetlejuice gazebo. I had a hell of a lot of fun designing it and buying the stuff, or shopping online for the stuff, and waiting for payday so I could buy more stuff. And then after maybe 2 months of having it, we had a freak windstorm and it absolutely trashed it. Like the gazebo is broken beyond fixing. So then when I decided, I'm like, my home is a very, very tiny, not even one bedroom bungalow. It is ridiculous. Um, I was in the situation of needs must facing homelessness, and it was that or be homeless, literally. And so I opted for this over being homeless so I could also keep my cats. And it is just very, very small. It's too small to really have any kind of craft set up. And I have tried, um, every single room in this place has at some point been a craft room or a craft space, or I've tried to set up and make it work. There's also a garage, and I tried to make that work for a short while, but it was too cold in winter and too hot in summer, and it wasn't ideal. So I got this idea about a she shed. And with a she shed, I could make it cool. I can like paint it and decorate it and insulate it and have a craft space in a studio she shed. So that's how it started. And it just made sense for it to be Beetlejuice because I was putting it where my Beetlejuice gazebo was. But also, I'd bought quite a bit of Beetlejuice stuff for my house at that point, and then decided I could just put this into the shed. So that's how it started. We insulated it. I painted it green. Like, we painted the doors purple. I got some green foil curtains for the ceiling. And then I spent literally 7 hours duct taping the floor in black and white stripes. And then I just kind of went from there. I started adding some of the stuff that I got that was Beetlejuice themed and some of the stuff that could be Beetlejuice themed. And yeah, I just had a lot of fun designing it. And then, like, more or less as soon as I'd finished designing it, I was like, I should have made this witchy because that would have made a lot more sense with my Etsy shop and my business and my all my social medias, my planners and everything. But live and learn, and maybe someday it'll become something else. But for now, it is Beetlejuice, and I enjoy it. And yes, I will do a tour at some point of my Beetlejuice studio she shed, who I named Delia. What do I do for work? I have found myself in the unfortunate situation of having an accident at work when I was 21, 22. I'm now 35 and I haven't worked since then due to physical disability and then on top of that, mental health and other health related issues. I have tried to create a small business where I make and sell jewelry. It's mostly selling, and by that, it's not even selling very well. And so I have this little Etsy shop and it's just not going well, like, at all. I would love to make it work because then I can feel more independent and more human. But for now, it is what it is. I have recently turned this little jewelry shop into also doing planner charms, which hasn't improved the situation at all. And I've been toying for years about having my own sticker shop because I have all the stuff. I am just fearful of making it work. Like, I don't want to spend a lot of time printing and trying to get that silhouette to actually cut things right and then do it all and put it online and then nobody buy it, because I think if the way that nobody buys my crafts has destroyed my love of crafting, and if nobody bought my art, I think that'd finish me, I think. So, but at the same time, I really want to do it, and I'm in this, like, I've spent years like writing out ideas and sending messages to my partner about different printers and papers and all sorts of stuff, and then just not done it. So it is very much something that I would love to do. And I've been talking to some friends about maybe potentially doing like some free downloads or something and seeing if it's something that people would want from me, and maybe even, especially because I'm in the UK. So maybe like just trying a few bits and seeing how it works out, or at least making stickers for myself. And then people might say, hey, could you make me some? And then go from there, maybe. So it is something that I'm thinking a lot about, but yeah, it is what it is right now. Do I take custom orders for charms? Yes, all of my jewelry and plant charms, etc., I take custom orders for. I have a heck of a lot of charms and beads and supplies and resin and polymer clay and all sorts of stuff, and I'm more than happy to try and make something. So yeah, definitely, I've already messaged you. But if anybody else is interested, that is definitely something I can do. And the best way to contact me would be directly through my Etsy. So if you message me on my Etsy shop is A Witch's Charm. Do I share my witchy books like my Book of Shadows and Grimoire online? No, I don't. I find them, to me, very personal. I would like to at some point create some kind of content for that. But it is something that when I do it, it's more for me and it's not really aesthetically pleasing. It's more like just information. And I don't think that's something people would like. And I feel it's more of a grimoire situation of recording my own experiences and writing down things that I've researched. So it'd be kind of like a commonplace book, I suppose. But yeah, no, I don't share that online, but I would like to create some aesthetically pleasing stuff. Maybe it is a whole thing that I've got going on in my head, which if I ever do this sticker stuff, it's kind of up there with that. What is your most favourite aesthetic? Gothy witchy always has been. Before I even knew that witchy was a thing, I like the whole gothic macabre. I don't want to be stereotypical about it because I really liked it before I realized it was an actual thing. Like growing up watching like the Addams Family, and I was just always drawn to more of like the spookier, scarier. Like I was obsessed with like Sabrina the Teenage Witch and Are You Afraid of the Dark and Goosebumps and just more the darker side of children's TV. And my whole thing was sort of I wanted to grow up so I could be goth because there was these goth girls that lived near me and I was like just obsessed with everything about them. Yeah, so from forever, I've always just been very interested in sort of like dark academia, gothic, spooky, uh, all that kind of stuff. Okay, I have 2 questions. Well, actually, I have 4 questions from 3 different people, which are basically the same. Do I game? Yes. Would I ever stream my gaming? I used to. My ex and I, about 10, 15 years ago, we had a Twitch, or he had a Twitch, and I used to like go on there and I used to do it with him. And it got really quite popular. But then when we broke up, I created my own channel and I just got so much abuse for basically being a female who games. And because I'm quite large chested, I just, even though I never had like my chest on display, I always had like slogan t-shirts on if I was even on camera at all. And my chat was just filled with people saying, oh, like you're only on here because of your chest, and just basically degrading me because I was a female who was gaming, and at that time it was not something that I could cope with. So I left, and then that was that, and that was like literally 10 years ago now. So would I stream now? Probably not. I have crippling anxiety, and I think I like the idea of being able to like pre-record stuff, edit it, and then make a decision if I want to post it online or not. Whereas being live, I think, is anxiety to me. Even like the thought of talking to someone over Discord is anxiety to me, but it's something that I'm also really wanting to do. Well, my friend, she has a stream, and I'm kind of like really wanting to play with her while she streams, but we're trying to make time zones work out because she's in America. So that's the whole thing. So would I ever stream? I don't know. Have I ever played Animal Crossing? Yes, I have. I am much more of a PlayStation person, but I do have a Switch, and I was playing Animal Crossing for like the longest time, but then I just kind of got to the point where I liked everything that I'd done too much to destroy it and do something new. So it was becoming stale, and even though I had like the my brain's drawing a blank, but you could go to work and design other Island Paradise. Even though I had the expansion, so you could go and design other people's houses. After a while, there's only so much of that you can do before it starts becoming really grating. Yeah. Anyway, so I played the absolute out of it, and I still have it. I hopped on it for a little bit the other day, and I changed a few things up, and then regretted it almost instantly. I have now got Fae Farm, which is sort of, I want to say, if Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing had a baby that looked a little bit more like Zelda, it'd be kind of Fae Farm. So I'm really enjoying that. And I might go back to Animal Crossing at some point, but I'm really enjoying the Fae Farm thing, even though it's a lot more like Stardew Valley in like the requirements and the time scheduling. Like a day is not a day. It's like a day is, I think, maybe like 24 minutes, something like that. It's a challenge. It's something different. I would play Stardew Valley, but I just find pixelated. I have childhood traumatic PTSD, and I think pixel related games has something to do with that, and I just end up feeling really triggered by it. I don't know what it is. I can't even really watch it. It just annoys me, even though growing up I absolutely loved my Game Boy and SNES, etc. And obviously all of that was like little pixelated games. I was born in 88, so I grew up in the 90s, and that is what it was. So I don't know why I now have kind of like a, oh my god, no. But yeah. So yes, I game. Would I ever stream? I don't know. Yes, I play Animal Crossing, and I hope that answered those questions. If you could live in any fantasy world, which would it be and why? I don't know. Like, I named my fae farm Fillory after the magicians because I really liked the idea of Fillory. I obviously am like a Harry Potter. Like, I don't care what you say about JK. I just, that whole witchy aesthetic thing is my thing. So maybe that. I do like the idea of the world of Sabrina. Maybe not so much the Dark Adventures or whatever it's called. Even though Gothic Macabre is like, and Sleepy Hollow and all that sort of uh the more dark academic gothic-y style would appeal to me somewhat. I don't know about what fantasy world I'd like to live in. Kind of like the idea of superheroes being real, so Marvel or DC world would be awesome. To be honest, I live in my own fantasy world 90% of the time. So I haven't given it a lot of thought. It's like when people say, "Oh, if you could be like any blah 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 character, who would you be?" And I'm like, I don't know. If you could marry any pop star, who would it be? I'm never like, I think because it's out of the realm of actual possibility, it's not something I've ever really given much thought. And speaking of the realm of possibility, do you believe in ghosts? Yes, I had a childhood experience with what my mum calls my imaginary friend, but looking back at it for me feels a lot more than that. But that is a whole video in its own story time. So if you would like to hear my story of did I have an imaginary friend or was it something else, definitely leave me a comment because I would love to do that video. I'm just very mindful how long this video already is. So yeah. So I'm gonna love you and leave you, and that is, I think, the majority, if not all, of the questions. Thank you to everybody who wrote in, and hopefully you've enjoyed watching this video while I ramble away. And I will see you in the next one. I will see you on my Instagrams. Don't forget to check them out. And if you haven't already, then definitely go ahead, like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell, and all that jazz. And I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.